Hey everyone, this is Bob from Hot Rock Central, and today I'm going to be going into what I've discovered about equalizing batteries from experimenting. We're going to be concentrating today on this one particular battery here. It's got 4 cells that are 100%, but it's got 2 here that even after multiple equalizing sessions, I just can't get them up. One's at 50 and the other one not quite 75. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be mixing up some Epsom salt in this fluid here and give it another equalized charge and see what will happen and see if it'll come up any. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I did that with this other battery over here. Now that one there has 1 cell that's completely dead, and I don't think I can revive this battery. But there's another cell over there. 4 of them are 100%, but the next one next to it, it was only about 50%. So I figured, well, this is a complete waste of a battery. It's not going to be any good. So I can screw around with it, and if anything happens, so what? So anyways, I put some Epsom salt in it and gave it another equalizing charge, and it brought it up some. So I said, okay, well, let's see what it'll do with this one here. So we'll be working on this one. But before we go into all that, I'll give you a little background history and what's going on here. These batteries came out of another shed that I built that it was impossible to service the batteries. They were vertically stacked, and you couldn't get at the caps to take them off. You couldn't see inside to see what the level was. And these things weigh about 120 pounds apiece, so they're like impossible to deal with, you know, as far as moving them, pulling them out, pulling them out, and putting them back in, and all that kind of stuff. So I said, screw that, and I built another cabinet. So now I can get to all of these where I can work on them. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be taking my battery tester, and I'll show you what these cells here look like. And each one of these balls here, if you don't know what this thing does, tells you the condition of the battery state. And if all 4 of them are floating, it's 100%. If one falls like that, that's 75%. So this one's showing 75%. And this one here, with 2 of them down, that means it's about 50%. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to suck this stuff out of here and putting it in this beer mug here. I'm going to fill this thing up and mix it up with some Epsom salt and put it back in and give it an equalized charge. And after all that's done, we'll come back and see if anything happened. So stay tuned, and we'll see you as soon as I get done doing this equalizing. Alright, I'm on the last cell right now. I'm mixing up my last batch of battery fluid and Epsom salt. And just keep stirring that until that all gets dissolved in and get it back in the battery. And then we'll come back after the equalization and see what happened. Alright, we just got the equalization started, and I'm using my solar charger to do that with. And I'm putting in about 28 volts at 100 amps into that battery. Now, that's a huge battery, and I've done this many times, and it can handle it. But I wouldn't try to do that to like a regular car battery or something like that. It'd probably blow up on you. But anyways, one thing I found interesting about this is where you see this, the voltage there, it drops down to 18.5 volts. So it loses about 10 volts when it's hooked up to a 12-volt battery. And I've noticed it as high as 19 volts. But the other interesting thing I found is that when you need to disconnect the battery when it starts getting pretty warm, because you don't want to go into a thermal runaway, which can cause the battery to explode or some crazy shit like that. So anyways, what I noticed is when the battery gets down to about 18 volts, 17.8, something like that, it's time to disconnect it, because by then the battery is usually pretty warm. and you want to disconnect it. And we'll go outside now and take a look at the battery being equalized while it's in action, and be right back. Well, there you go. It's under equalization. You can see it just bubbling away. And I'm going to get out of here because these fumes are stinky and they're not good to breathe. And one other thing I want to tell you all is all these batteries I got here, I bought used. Only paid about 90 bucks a piece for them. And when I bought them, the voltages checked out pretty good and everything. So they seemed all right. But when I pulled them out of the old battery shed, and went out and bought a hydrometer and tested all the different cells and everything in them, I found out the hydrometer readings were just wildly all over the place in all these batteries. So that's when I started experimenting with the equalizing these things, and I started out at a low voltage and high amperage, and finally built it up to 28 volts at 100 amps to see if it could handle it. And so far it's doing pretty good. And it takes about an hour before the battery gets hot enough where you should disconnect it before you cause any damage. So anyways, I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 batteries I got back to 100%, or 8 batteries back to 100%. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 I got back to 75%. And the last two, one is probably unsalvageable. I'm going to be doing some more experimenting on that. And we'll see what happens after this one goes through an equalization. And hopefully I got some good news to say. Anyways, we'll see you after the equalization. Okay, I'm back. Equalization is done, and we're ready to test to see what happened. Now this one here was originally the 50% cell. Let's see what we got now. Oh, look at that. 75% now. Not bad. Looks like something happened there. Alright, and this one was the 75% cell. Let's see what that looks like. Well, I'll be damned. Look at that, 100%. You know what? I'm probably going to hit this thing one more time. See if I can get that 75% up to 100% with the rest of them. Well, anyways, the battery's still hot. I don't know if that has an effect on the reading or not, but unless I make an amendment to this in the notes that the readings went back down after it cooled down, then it'll stand at what it is right now. So there you go. Epsom salt does actually do something. Now you know. See you later, folks.